Hey guys, my name is Ryan, and today I want to talk to you about the Alex Murdaugh trial. Remember him? Remember that trial? That was a huge trial a couple years ago. In 2023, so 3 years ago, Alex Murdaugh was convicted in court of murdering his wife and his eldest son. So he had two sons. He was convicted of murdering the older one and his wife, as I mentioned. And that trial, that conviction, is being overturned, and he is getting a retrial. So let's jump into it. What's going on? Let's see the article.
In South Carolina this morning, a major reversal. The state Supreme Court has thrown out the double murder conviction of Alex Murdaugh, who was convicted of the 2021 killing of both his wife and son. But his conviction for financial crimes still stands, and prosecutors say that means he won't be released anytime soon. They say they're more than happy to try him again for the murder charges.
Alex Murdaugh will not be getting out of prison for several decades.
Former County Clerk Becky Hill, who helped handle jurors at the murder trial, is at the center of the court's reversal and is seen here reading the verdict.
Guilty, guilty, guilty.
The court wrote that she showed shocking jury interference by denying Murdaugh his right to a fair trial by an impartial jury after they say she told jurors not to be fooled by Murdaugh's defense and to watch him closely when he testified. One juror later testified that Hill's comments influenced her to vote guilty.
It felt like she made it seem like he was already guilty.
Did that affect your finding of guilty in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Hill denied that she talked about the evidence with jurors, but would later resign from her position and plead guilty to 2 counts of misconduct while in office.
I want to say that I am truly sorry, and I do take full responsibility for my actions.
During the trial, Murdaugh took the stand in his own defense, saying he was innocent.
I would never intentionally do anything to hurt either one of them.
So as you can see there, this entire trial got overturned because of one person, Becky Hill, for her statements made in the courtroom. So they were saying these were kind of insinuating statements, looking at him as a person rather than just as the evidence. And everyone says that this is that they weren't surprised by this reaction by the judge and retrying this case. This was a huge case. It's going to be very hard. This is kind of like a famous person's trial now, because his trial was so huge 3 years ago when this took place that now how is he going to have a fair trial? Is this going to be an open courtroom? They said it's going to be in a small town of South Carolina, apparently, where the murders took place. And they're going to have to get jurors from out of town in order to fill in those witness spots there. So this is very interesting. This is the first time I've seen this, and I've been interested in many famous trials over the years, and I have yet to see this.
Innocence, and looks forward to proving that at trial. He's in his late 50s, and he is still serving a long prison sentence. That means he will be in jail for at least another 40 years. And that means that while prosecutors put their case against him together and retry him, he will need to remain behind bars, guys.
So this retrial is only for actually the murder trials. He actually got convicted of a double murder trial, and because of his wife and his son here. But he was also convicted of stealing money from his business. I believe he was a lawyer or something along those lines, and he stole millions of dollars from his clients, and he's doing time for that. I believe 27 to 40 year sentence for those crimes for theft. He is in the federal prison system right now, so he is doing time for that regardless. And that's why they're saying, is there even going to be a retrial? Because if he's in his late 50s now, go on 40, 60 more years, then is there even a point to try him for those two murders? So it says here, 57-year-old attorney remains in prison serving 27 and 40-year sentences for extensive financial crimes. Conviction status: Murdaugh was originally convicted in 23 of murder and weapon possession, receiving 2 consecutive life sentences. So that kind of nulls the point right there. If he was receiving 2 consecutive life sentences, he would already be dead by the time before he was able to complete those sentences. So just adding them back onto his sentence again, as if it doesn't make much of a difference if he is convicted. Clerk of Court scandal. Former clerk Becky Hill pleaded guilty to multiple charges in late 2025, including misconduct in office and perjury. After it was revealed she lied about the jury tampering accusations, according to AP News. Family status. Murdaugh's surviving son, Buster, has largely distanced himself following the initial guilty verdict in the news of the overturned conviction. So we still don't know what the son's feeling about this is, if he's ever seen him in prison or not, if he's ever visited. We don't know anything. It says that he's distanced himself, so I'm sure maybe him and his father don't even have contact anymore. But I'd be curious to hear if he thought his father was actually guilty in the first place. That would be very interesting to find out. So let's see now the actual ruling in the court. This is actually a short, a YouTube short, so it's going to look a little bit small on the screen here. But this is actually Becky Hill in the court case that overruled this ruling.
The Murdaugh family, and about having so many people watching and listening to me as I read the verdict. I was mostly concerned about Alex being found innocent when I knew in my heart he was guilty. I had this fear that the goodwill the Murdaughs had built up in the community would influence the jury. You wrote that, did you not?
Yes, ma'am.
So you had those feelings well before the verdict was announced in this case. You had some definite opinions and feelings about what the verdict should be, did you not?
I did have a certain way that I felt.
But that's not any poetic license, what was said there. That's how you felt, correct?
Correct.
All right.
So there you have it. That was Becky Hill. That was her sitting trial there with the judge. So she's saying that was her feeling. She said that she didn't necessarily say those things, but that was her feeling, that she felt that he was guilty because she knew him ahead of time. She knew the family for the trial because it was such a small town. So that's also an interesting factor right there. So the only outcome of this for Becky is she is actually serving 3 years of probation for misconduct in office, obstruction of justice, and perjury, all related to the case of the Alex Murdaugh trial. So, all right, guys, tell me what you think about this. Is this enough? 3 years of probation? Does this even matter that Alex Murdaugh's trial is being replayed here? And if these sentences add on to his already previous sentences for theft here that he was convicted of, let me know in the comments below. I'll see you guys in the next video.